The banks lied to you. And as you look this way, there's always another narrative going on this way. Since 2020, I've been sharing with people to turn your head just a little bit and really look at the facts, figures, numbers, logic. There's this huge battle going on right now. Twitter's the greatest place to see the separation of consciousness. Everybody thinks they have the answer. Everybody thinks they know what's going on behind the scenes. But I'm here to tell you, this is nothing new under the sun. This has happened over and over and over again. And what you're experiencing is the great mutation, the transfer of your financial system, spiritual, physical. And after February 20th, you're going to start to see a massive separation. You're going to see the financial system get exposed. You're going to start to see the greatest changes within your financial system. And I'll stick to what I'm good at, which is macro and microeconomics. Those who are patient, those who are persistent, those who are disciplined, those who are consistent, and those who understand real investing. When the markets are down, you buy good companies, good technologies, whatever you want to call them, cryptos, or stocks at a fair price. You stay disciplined, you stay consistent, you get out of the noise. But remember back in 2017, guys, all the way to 2023, Larry Fink, Trump, okay, Jamie Dimon, told you to run as fast as you could. So don't get caught up in the noise. Don't forget the past. Told you run as fast as you can from Bitcoin, crypto. At the same time, they were building the blockchain infrastructure. Jamie Dimon, JPM Coin, Onyx. Okay, I think it's rebranded now. They have their own blockchain technology, guys. Wells Fargo's with R3. Bank of America has Ripple in its patent. It's always been this, guys. You're not seeing this great separation in this great battle. You're seeing the system being rewired. And it's not by chance that the Ripple case got delayed for 5 years. It's not by chance that ISO finally went live in 2025 as the Ripple case ended. It's not by chance that the Clarity Act got pushed back all the way to 2026. And it's not by chance that the battle is going on around the Clarity Act and all these things happening. You're not going to stop it. Your banks in the next 12 months are going to ask to custody your cryptocurrency. The very banks who told you to run from Bitcoin because it's a fraud are going to want you to allocate 1 to 4% into your portfolio. Your financial advisors are going to start to try to build an asset portfolio with maybe some Xrp ETFs, some Bitcoin ETFs, Ethereum, Solana. It's going to be part of your normal traditional system. Now, here's the good news. Is the crypto market is only $3 trillion. And here's some comparison. NVIDIA is bigger than the whole cryptocurrency market. So you're extremely, extremely early. But here's the issue with the cryptocurrency industry is the hype and the hopium. There is no get rich quick. Now, you can get wealthy for sure by being patient, persistent, picking good companies at a fair price, reading books by Warren Buffett, the ones that he recommends, Intelligent Investor, books like this. Okay, these are great books you can read. Intelligent Investor, Richest Man in Babylon, read The Wisdom of King Solomon within the Bible. You need a system because your system is changing. Cash is absolute trash. So I'm going to show you a video from Brian Armstrong, and he's going to talk about the even playing field. That's what we're heading to, okay, guys? Now, traditional banks are panicking a little bit. Of course they are, because a lot of banks are behind. They don't want a modern-day bank run where we all run off into DeFi, okay, where we can be our own banks. That's an important part of this, okay? There is a systematic switch. So they want us all to believe they're for the people. Guys, it's a profit organization. It's not a nonprofit. Banks are going to come into stablecoins. I bet you every bank will have its own stablecoin. Every bank will operate on distributed ledger technology, okay? Crypto, I told you, crypto exchanges will become banks. It's already in the process. Traditional banks will become DeFi banks. They'll become institutional custody. And then you will have a shitload of choices on where you want to go. Okay, it's going to be a fee-based, rental-based society. Okay, I'm going to keep going on the soapbox. Listen, this is what we're heading into. If you don't understand this, okay, it's going to be a fee-based and rental-based society. It's going to get so detached from reality. Before 1907, guys, we owned stuff. Now, do you see why gold, silver, things like Bitcoin, okay, assets, hard assets are skyrocketing because the elites know that the transition is here. The elites know that you can't continue to operate in a fiat system. You're either earning interest or you're paying it. So we're going to watch this video right here with Brian Armstrong talking about even playing field. And I'm going to show you a tweet going back and forth, Eleanor Tourette. And Brian Armstrong says a quiet part out loud. Check this out.
Well, I want to talk about the sticking point that you've been raising for a while now, and that is whether platforms are able or should have the ability to pay rewards on or interest on stable coins. This, of course, would be a key tool for you and the industry to convince customers to move money out of traditional banks and into crypto platforms, correct?
No.
Yeah, so this stablecoin reward issue is very important, and I think President Trump has showed incredible leadership here, creating a strong crypto agenda. We just got the Genius Act passed into law, which actually did enable stablecoin rewards to happen. The banks had their own concerns, and we reached a good outcome in the Genius Act. And now the banks really are coming and trying to undermine the president's crypto agenda. I mean, these are the same banks that debanked him and his family, right? And
okay, now think about that. Okay, he now has World Liberty Financial, my number 3 investment. He has USD1. He has his own stable coin now, guys. So what you're seeing is banks are like in a panic. Okay, they're like, holy shit, we got to get this right because we got to get involved in this. It's they're pushing on the brakes because they're not ready for it. Why do you think Elizabeth Warren pushed back on Trump's World Liberty Financial? Okay. It's a separation of consciousness. Think left hemisphere, right hemisphere, expansive consciousness versus industrial era, right? Think 9 to 5 versus expansive creation. That's all you're seeing here, guys. Don't get caught in the weeds. Don't get caught in noise. Think expansive, think growth, think quantum, think future. Okay.
They want to come in and say that Americans should not be able to actually earn more money on their money. They're trying to protect their own profit margins, taking money out of the pockets of hardworking average Americans and putting it into the coffers of these big banks that are hitting record profits. And so our view is that there should be a level playing field where banks and crypto companies can lean into stablecoin legislation as an opportunity. And that includes paying rewards to Americans so that they can earn more money on their money.
Okay, even playing field. Let's go back 9 years.
A very, very warm conversation. I think we are on the process of getting along very well. And I think that will also be very much of a benefit to Japan. So we had a very, very good talk last night and discussed a lot of subject. It was a long talk. And we are working on that as we speak. We have conversations with various representatives of China. I believe that will all work out very well for everybody, China, Japan, the United States, and everybody in the region. As far as the currency devaluations, I've been complaining about that for a long time. Mm-hmm. And I believe that we will all eventually, and probably very much sooner than a lot of people understand or think, we will be all at a level playing field. Because that's the only way it's fair. That's the only way that you can fairly compete in trade and other things.
Okay, so don't get caught in the noise, guys. Okay, we're going to be on an even playing field. So Eleanor Tourette, Brian Armstrong are going back and forth. She says, my reporting was airtight and accurate. You also just cited the central point of my correct story was correct, that the White House asked Coinbase to secure a deal on yield. My reporting is that White House support now appears to be contingent on that outcome. Brian Armstrong, in general, love your post, but this is not accurate. The White House has been super constructive here. They did ask us to see if we can figure out a deal with the banks, which we are currently working on. Actually, we've been cooking up some good ideas on how we can help the community banks specifically in this bill, since that's what this is about, the community banks, right? More coming soon, okay? Guys, take a deep breath. This is where discipline, consistency, and patience, and really understanding what cryptos, what companies are going to be part of the new era. This is where you got to lock the F in, okay? Get out of the hype. I've been telling you guys for over a year, it's going to be bumpy as this transitions. After February 20th, you're going to start to see brokers, anybody who's a broker, banks, anybody who's doing unethical things around financially, that's going to start to really get exposed. Warren Buffett said it the best. The tide went out, and you're going to see what banks weren't prepared, what brokers weren't prepared, who was doing things unethical, and you're going to see who doesn't have swim trunks on. And so when people start to see this stuff, they're going to start to stop following blind leadership spiritually, financially, and physically. Okay. We're going from external health to internal health, like Eastern medicine, healing ourselves from within. We're going from centralized banking, where you have no control over your money when it goes into a bank, to decentralized banking, where you can participate with the bank. Okay. They know that. And that's what this is about, guys. They're making sure they get set up so they don't have a modern day bank run. They're keeping you extremely, extremely, extremely distracted. They got people protesting in the streets, guys. Study Ray Dalio's Changing World Order, the fall and rise of superpowers. Look at 16, 17, and 18. It's literally to the T what's happening right now. The last fall of a superpower is civil war and revolution, where within a country, the left and right go against each other. Then the right and right go against each other. Okay. Now we got traditional banking, DeFi banking, supposedly going after each other. Or behind the scenes, there's a massive cooperation that is bringing you into the new system. So what you should be doing is becoming a warrior in a garden, not a gardener in a war. You should be getting your shit together spiritually, physically, and financially, building a budget, building a investment plan, turning your cash into cash flow, moving into assets that are going to beat inflation, that have fixed supply, that are going to survive this monetary transition. It's here. It's really here. So get out of the short term, get out of this bullshit price predictions, hopium, all this stuff. That is going to wreck you 100% of the time, and understand how nature works. Okay. The markets are no different. The bear market always has a bull market. The bull market always has a bear market. In my neighborhood, all the leaves have fallen off the tree. What's coming next, guys? Everything operates the same. Nature, markets, you. But what happens is spring comes and you're pulling the negative attitude into spring. You're pulling the winter into spring because you're more committed to the pain than you are to the growth. So right now is the number one time for you to lock in and get your shit together. I'm dead serious about this because this is really important. This is going to be the separation between those who survive this metaphysically and those who get destroyed over the next 3 years. I would get dialed in on your nutrition and your exercise. I would get dialed in my spiritual walk and leading my family. I would get dialed in on my finances and build a plan, because that's how winning is done. Nobody's coming to save you. Jesus said, pick up your mat and walk. The kingdom of heaven is within you. Your faith has made you healed. And he was out with the people. And I know this type of talk turns some people off, but this is the truth. That's the way, the truth, and the life. This is real. This is really transition. There's no savior coming out of the sky. No president's going to save you. It's you against you. Who do you look in the mirror every single night? Is a president coming into your house and getting you up to exercise? Is a president doing your budget? Okay. All they're going to do is lower interest rates and bury you deeper in debt. And until you take sovereignty of your wealth, until you take sovereignty of your health, until you take sovereignty of your mind, you're going to be in the same position complaining about the same shit the next 3 years. It's here, family. It is here. Somebody's got to be direct. Somebody's got to say this, the truth. Because look, just go on Twitter, watch this, guys. You're seeing influencers start to lose their mind because they're not in the bull run. They didn't build ecosystems outside. They didn't get all the wealth in 2025 that they thought they were going to do. The price predictions didn't hit. And so now they create a whole new narrative to try to get the engagement, guys. It's you against you every single time. And the mother of skill is repetition, repeating the same things over and over and over and over and over and over again until you master it. So I love you guys. Just don't get caught up in this. Just get caught up in your plan, okay? So create cash flow, move that cash flow into appreciating assets. When they profit, pull it into protection. You need a defense, some insurance, precious metals. Mine is, I walk you guys through my portfolio, but I'm not going to, I just want to spend some time with you guys around these pieces around discipline, consistency, because that's the boring stuff. And that I know that people will unfollow me because of that stuff. And I'm okay with that. But I'm telling you guys, that's my secret. Go back and watch my channel. Since I started this, I say the same shit over, and that's the point. That's the point. I don't do content to create content. I do content to document my journey. Well, guess what? The journey hasn't changed. It's been the same thing over and over and over again. And all that changes is the physical reality from the seeds planted from 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025. And now the seeds I'm planting in 2026, I can predict where I'm going to be at in 2029 to a very small margin, because that's how winning is done. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. And we got this. Okay. So down below in the description of this video, there's all the resources you need. If you click my social media platform, we got all the resources you need. Have an awesome day. Happy holidays today, and let's get after it, and let's get out there and let's win. Warriors, let's get your shit together. Let's go.